guys, JoJo Crosses here. This is JoJo. We are back on our resort island doing the last resort challenge with Stacy from Crossing Maniac. I will put a link down below to the challenge so you guys can check it out. It's a 3-month challenge, June through August. And there's a few requirements. I'm just going to put the link to her video so you can kind of watch that and see what she has down as requirements. But as you can see, what I'm doing here is I decided to sand my entire island because, you know, it's a resort and I wanted it to be a nice sandy beachy resort. So we're just kind of going to coat this island with sand, kind of from the ground up. But then once I get the thing covered, you know, we'll build it up. We'll put some new stuff around. There'll be some waterscaping. There'll be some pathing. There'll be just a ton of different stuff we're going to add in here to make it look pretty. You know what I mean? But I really love starting from a clean slate. I don't really love the process of this, although I love picking weeds. Look at this. I love the sound of that too, the little pluck. Anyways, I love just, you know, doing all the normal Animal Crossing stuff. But this did get a little tiring. So a lot of this is, by the way, this is a voiceover because, you know, as you can tell, there was a lot going on here. And I'm actually doing this while I'm on Discord hanging out with my friends because they kept me company. Here's the island as it is right now. So I have like half of it done. I have another half to go. This took me, I don't know, probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. So we've got to finish the rest of this island, get the sand coated all around. So we're just going to continue doing that, plucking weeds as we go, hitting rocks, picking up bushes, you name it, it's going. Once we get all this done, we can kind of come up with a plan. I don't really have a plan for this island. Do I ever? No, I sure don't. I have ideas, like things in my head circling around that I'm like, oh, you know, I would like this and I would like that. And then Stacy has some things that you have to build. I believe I need a tiki bar. I believe I'm supposed to have a beach volleyball area. So the first build in this one will be none of those, of course. I'm going to build a big pool. So that'll be the first build. Aside from getting all the bungalow areas put up, you know, I already did the entrance. The entrance leads up to kind of like the hotel resort area and where you check in and stuff. That's going to be my house, you know. And we'll get that done later. I haven't done my house yet at all. Matter of fact, Harold is still running around in there. He's my pet cockroach. Because he comes in handy when all the villagers are like trying to come over and like be my friend. So anyways, but Harold is hanging out and that whole place has got to turn into a like hotel lobby, but it has to look very beachy. Oh, hi Shep. He's so cute. I've never had Shep. Well, I have. I had him on my tropical island once. I forgot about that. But I didn't have him for long. I think I brought him in towards the end, so I don't remember him. He taught me dozing. That's great. He looks like he's dozing all the time with that hair. Anyway, he's really cute though. I like any of the dogs almost. I'm trying to think if there's a dog I don't like. There really isn't. I can't think of one if there is. But as I run into villagers and do some of the normal stuff, I'm going to show that on here too. Oh, look, he's going to do yoga. Cute Shep. Okay, anyways, I'm trying to include some of the normal stuff, some of the things that, you know, might kind of be annoying, like sanding my island and terraforming and, you know, bits and pieces. But I'm not going to show you all of this, I promise. I just thought, you know, this would be a good introduction section where we can just chit chat for a minute. But there's a lot of stuff that I do in this video to get like an established area of what I want to do structure wise for the island. And I feel like if I nip that in the bud like the beginning and kind of get like the shape of things, it really helps me move on with the rest of the island and decide, you know, what I want to do. So but we're going to finish up the sanding. I don't even know how far along we are on this sanding. I think this is it. I think we're about ready to be done with it. And then we're going to head off to, we'll look at the map and I'll just kind of show you the progress there. And then, actually I won't. The next thing that happens is Megan had asked for Julia. So I got Julia on my island, and then, oh, there it is. There's the map. That's where I was, but then, you know, we went to Julia. So anyways, this is where we're checking to see if Julia arrived on the island, and she had. And then we're going to go do some magic, and then we're going to come back and hopefully just by, you know, a blink of an eye, you're going to see that Julia is going to be back into boxes again. So that will be good. Okay, so I went in my house. Julia's house is really pretty, by the way. I really like that big blue door. I don't think I've ever had Julia. And I should probably have her on this island. She'd be really pretty, but I didn't. I got her for Megan Parker, and she's going to fly over and collect Julia here in a minute. I just thought it'd be fun to show that because you guys don't get to see the behind the scenes all the time. But I've got some friends on here, and we help each other out. And this was one of the things that I was asked for, so I did it. So it was kind of fun. And I like having little visitors to my island and stuff like that. Matter of fact, if you guys ever come to my streams, we have an island called Floof Games, which is, you know, floofy squirrel games going on in that island. And basically it's where you can come over, play games with me, have fun, hide and seek, musical chairs, lots of fun situations. There she is. She goes by Gertie on this one. She's from Guacamole. This is one of her islands. Anyways, she came over to get Julia, and we were excited about it, and it was fun. But anywho, we're going to go back to constructing the island, and we have to build the bungalow area, which is over here. But anyway, what I was saying about Floof Games. Floof Games is my all-squirrel, not all-squirrel, but it's going to be an all-squirrel island eventually, I'm sure. Anyways, because I love squirrels. You guys know that. And anyways, this island, we just all like to play together, you know. And occasionally I do villager hunts, and occasionally I do dream address tours, and we play bingo and just stuff like that. And I feel like those are fun stream stuff. But what I would like is if you guys have any suggestions as to what you would like to play on that island, or if you would have suggestions as to what you would like me to do on stream that would be fun for you and for me, plop it down below on this video. Just give me some comments. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, I love spending time with all my friends on stream, but I don't want you guys to get bored with me. So I'm trying to come up with fun ideas and things that you guys might enjoy and stuff you might like to do or whatever, so that you're not bored, you know? And I know everybody says, oh, I'm never bored. Okay, well, I feel like maybe you are sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, so I do my best, and if there's something you can think of, just list it. We do a lot of terraforming on this part, but I'm gonna cut most of it out. I'm just gonna show you little tiny chunks. Basically, we're just gonna show what it looks like on the map and what is going on. I'm kind of making this little, it's like a set of 3 sets of villager houses and 2 on each section. And then they're gonna each have like their own little, I don't know what to call it, but their own sections that they kind of have ownership over or are the bosses of or whatever. So there's gonna be 2 girlies in the back that are gonna be in charge of our pool area. And that's gonna be at the back of this terraforming section. And then in the middle, we're going to put in the tiki bar and the volleyball area. And then on the front, which is coming up in another video, will be the, we're gonna have a surf shop where Bud, of course, will be the owner of that. And then on the other side, we're gonna have Shep, and he's gonna kind of have like a little souvenir shop sort of thing. And I haven't decided if Shep's gonna have the souvenir shop or if it's going to be what is his name? The bunny. I'm at a loss for names right this very moment, but I'm gonna put a map up in a second. We can see. But anyways, O'Hare. Anyway, I'm gonna put O'Hare in here too, but he's kind of down by me, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna make his job. I have to think about it. You know, I might make O'Hare the souvenir shop down below, and then have Shep and Bud both own a big surf shop area. So that could be 2. So maybe one side will be like scuba diving type swimsuits and stuff like that for sale, and then the other side will be all the surfboards and stuff. So anyway, we paid off our house. Now we're going to be decorating the house. This is going to be my house down by the entrance where you're going to walk in and be greeted here, and then I'll show you to your bungalow. So so these are the different colors I kind of thought about, but I went ahead with the white roof with some help from friends' opinions. I happen to be on with Kitty and Megan and Nyla and with Princess of Pineapples, and they were all giving me their opinions as to what looked good for like a little bungalow hotel house kind of thing. And so that's what we came up with this one. So yeah, it was kind of fun. And then we're gonna move O'Hare down next to me. And what I didn't realize is that O'Hare's house is almost identical to this house that I just designed. Had no idea. Matter of fact, I didn't even know what his house looked like until I moved it and traveled to the next day and looked at it. So it's kind of hilarious. But anyways, yes, we're going to get O'Hare. Thank you. Thank you, Nook. All right. So he's agreed. We're placing it over here. So this is where I thought maybe the souvenir shop would be cool because it's right next to my house. Oh, there comes June. She's wandering over to see what the heck's going on over here. All right, next day, we're going to go see. Look at that. Look at that house. Aside from the thatch roof being different and stuff, but look at our houses kind of match. It's really cool. Anyway, we're gonna head on up here, and we're trying to get the structure of this thing that I'm trying to do where we have a couple of houses that will go up here that will be like our little rental bungalows kind of thing, and then in the middle of a couple of them are going to be like the little entertainment / relaxation areas and stuff like that. So I thought that would be kind of cool. I kind of got the same idea from Megan. I went to her island and she had much thinner little walkway than I did. Of course, I made it a little bigger. But she had little areas here that kind of went between the house, and then you'd walk across and there'd be like a little living space, and then you walk across and there'd be something else. It was kind of cute. Mine won't be exactly the same, but you know, it's kind of drifting off that idea, I guess. And then I wanted it to look kind of like it's up in the trees or an elevated structure. So, you know, we're going to do some things to kind of make it look more tropical, islandy, and elevated sort of thing. I dug a lot of holes to try to keep the measurements in line, but then I realized that they're not like even. And so we kind of, I don't know, I'm driving myself nuts like trying to get it all evened out, and I wanted to see how much room we had in the back and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, is just kind of seeing if we can even this out. I make this 4 wide initially, and then I believe I end up shrinking it down to 2 wide in the end to match up with the incline in the front and kind of keep it more of a straight line. But there's nothing exactly matchy with this, so you can see like it's off kilter a little bit and stuff, but it's fine. I kind of decided to speed through some of this because although I wanted you to see all my running around and my process, I didn't want you to like have to sit through all of it because it's kind of annoying just watching all that all the time. But I'm trying to get it to where they're kind of even. Boy, this fast music is like kind of like frantic, isn't it? I probably should have just blanked out the music and put a different music in there, but no, I didn't. I decided you could just see me frantically digging up this hill. Oh my. Anyways, I don't mind terraforming. I actually kind of like terraforming, especially like that when I'm destroying portions and stuff. That makes me happy. But anyway, yeah, there's the shape we're taking. So some of it I end up having to like cut down or change. I had to get rid of a rock because I want them to kind of be somewhat even, you know. So anyways, we just kind of move along and have to keep going back and forth, looking at the map, seeing how things measure out, you know, that kind of thing. And then I realized over here, oh, I'm a little too far over. So I wanted to make sure we weren't going too far. The music sounds so hilarious. See here. Yeah, here I'm like, oh, this would be great. And then I'm like, oh, too far maybe? No. I don't know. I guess we do end up keeping this part, but couldn't remember. Don't you hate it when you like build the structure and then it wants to just tear it back down right after you just put one up? Ugh, crazy town. Anyways, this music is crazy town, by the way. Super crazy town. The only thing I don't like about this is that I have to keep running all the way around. But once it's in and I have it all built up, it's going to look really pretty because all these little parts down below are either going to be like little oasis type areas where there's going to be, you know, trees and water and stuff like that for looks, or little carry-ons from whatever's above it. So like, let's say if I have like maybe a restaurant or something and I want to have a downstairs or something like that, then that's what I'll do with that. So anyway, but yeah, we're almost done with this part. and then we'll head over and look at the map again, and I'll just kind of let you see the, if you have OCD, don't look at my map because it is not even and you're gonna hate it. But if you don't care or you're scattery like me or whatever, I feel like I have OCD, but then I don't have OCD. Trust me, I don't. Those of you that do, I'm not trying to disrespect you. It is an actual diagnosis that's a pain in the big booty to have. But anyways, but I feel like I have tendencies where everything has to be even and stuff. And this is just, like I said, slightly off kilter, like by one notch. But I didn't mind. I kind of left it that way. And by the time I got to this point, I was like, I am not fixing that again. So anyway, I have to just finish the like top right corner of this and then we're done. So we'll just kind of go do a couple little parts and then we're going to move on to some other stuff. So here's my question to you. I have a new Nintendo Switch. I got a 2. You guys know this. I showed a video of me opening it. I showed you a video of the comparison of the two Switches. The Switch 2 is much faster, about 2 times as fast as the regular Switch. And playing Animal Crossing on it is a joy because it's much faster loading. The islands are, the island is not laggy. I went to my old City Core island. I showed that too on my video. That thing lagged like crazy. In the video you couldn't like maybe gather it as much, but I'm telling you, like when I ran around that island on the normal Switch, it was just lag city. When I was on my Switch 2, it was like such a joy. I was like, oh my gosh, I can just run around. There's no drag. There's no lag. It's just great. So anyways, here's my question. I need to start an island on my Switch 2. And let me just confess, I already did. But I'm not liking it. It is I was going to do a 1-color challenge, possibly. So I started the 1-color challenge. Well, I did a wheel to spin for my color. I got pink. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think I want to do pink. I think I'm going to get tired of it. And I was thinking I might do a Kid Core island. I'm still not sure I won't do a Kid Core island. But I'd like to know what you guys would like to see. Should I do a 1-color challenge? Or I've seen some other people like It's Me Cara Lee and Simulation Fluffy are doing 30-day challenge islands where they either A, cannot travel off their island at all, so they can't go to a mystery island. They can't, well, they both aren't doing this. Okay, Simulation Fluffy is doing the you can't travel off the island situation. It's Me Cara Lee is doing the reset from like version 1 of ACNH where there was never any update at all, like from the very beginning. So everything's super expensive. Like right now to move a house, it's 10,000 bells. Now I'm sanding the top, by the way. In her video, she's showing once upon a time, it was 50,000 bells to move one house. And they updated that in the update. Look at me ignoring the balloons. I forgot that I was supposed to, oh, look at O'Hare. He invited me to come sit with him. And he's so cute. He's so sweet. And then we take a picture together. Because he's adorable. I don't know why you guys don't like him. He's cute. Anyway. Now, we're going to put up some, why is this so fuzzy? That looked terrible there for a minute. Sorry, y'all. I just noticed that. I don't know what happened. something went awry. Anyways, sorry about that. But back to my question. Okay, so Simulation Fluffy is doing the one where she can't travel off the island. Then It's Me Carolee is doing the version 1. No updates. It's just straight up Animal Crossing New Horizons from the beginning. Oh look, Nyla came to visit. My daughter. Anyway, she was coming to look at my shop. Get some stuff out of my shop. And you can tell she came from Batty Cove, which is her Halloweeny island. So anyway. Fun with friends. You guys got to do it. It's fun. It reminds me of the good old days with this. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Here is where I'm realizing that, gosh darn it, these little things are not going to fit behind O'Hare's house. And so, yep, I'm going to have to move his entire stinking house. Yep. So I'm going to move it up, do it, and move it back. So that's what's coming up. Anyways, It's Me Carolee was doing that one from the beginning. I was thinking, should I do like a vanilla island on my Switch 2? Because it kind of has to be sort of vanilla-y. Where I have to do all the work myself. And kind of like a, I don't know, some kind of a challenge. A 30-day challenge. Something like that. Or I could do the one color challenge. Where we, still pick a color. But maybe we're going to throw pink out and do a different color instead of pink. So, let me know what you think down below. I may have already decided what to do by the time I see your comments, but I'm not that far ahead on these videos, so it's possible that I'll see it before I get started. But I am going to restart it and see what we can do. I would really like to do something different. So I'm going to try to think of something. I would really like to do some kind of a different challenge that no one has done before. Or just something a little more interesting. Or, I don't know, just something that will keep me going. You know what I mean? And then I'm still going to be working on my resort. I have until August to finish this resort, and I kind of don't want to rush it. So what I might do is alternate between the two islands and my forever island. So we'll have like maybe like Mondays will be Mondays could be something. And then Wednesdays could be a different island. And then Fridays could be my forever island. And because I wanted to do a few more things on my forever island. I might rip down some areas and redo them. Things like that. I've been trying to play on it every single day for at least like half hour in the morning just to, make some progress on that island and try to get all the bugs and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm getting there, and I did just do an update on that one to show you guys, but guys and gals. But anyways, now I am going to try to figure out what to do on that Switch too. So I really, really hope they come out with a new Switch. Don't you guys? I really do. Not a new Switch. Excuse me. A new Animal Crossing. I think it's just going to be so much fun. And then we'll all kind of be in the same boat. And we can do all these things like the good old days. Like back in the olden days. We had to go to each other's islands. Get all the stuff. Come on, Nintendo. Get your act together. Why are we last? I don't understand why we're last to get anything. The cozy crews around here have kept Nintendo, not kept Nintendo. They would have been afloat without us, but I'm telling you, we've really contributed. The cozy people have dominated in a lot of things, and it's amazing that we're all still playing these games that are 5 years old, 6 years old almost. So anyway, Nintendo, come on, let's get us a new game. Come on, come on, come on. So here there's a gap. It's bothering me. There's gonna be a gap in a couple of places. Because I have to fix one of the walkways. This is what I'm doing, is kind of running around seeing if any of the other areas had gaps. Because I don't remember any of them having them, and they didn't. And I wondered, like, why is this one even and that one's not? Because the whole structure's not even. So this is where I'm fixing this walkway. And then I see this gap, and the one that I just showed you, and I'm like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? Nope, tree can't go there, but a tree can go there. So I'm gonna go steal some trees from over here and place them, you know, back there. And that way it just kind of camouflages that corner so that you can't really see it that easy. Trees are wonderful for that, like to just kind of, you know, block some of the stuff that looks shoddy. So, and this does look, in fact, shoddy. So anyway, I'm going to eat me a coconut, because that's how we eat coconuts, is whole with the nut and all, just everything. Yeah, no. But we eat the plates in this too, so, you know. It's how we roll. Okay, another coconut, because we're going to get a bamboo, I think. And yeah, we're going to move some of these plants over. Oh my gosh, I can't aim to save my life, though. And then the closest you can get the tree is like right in here to that gap. So I thought, well, that's a good one to go there. And then I like to put one like at an angle in front of it. And so we're going to plant one at an angle too. And then that'll kind of see where I put that coconut tree. Oh my gosh, I blocked off that part of the video. Anyway, that's a good way to block it. You can't really tell there's a gap there, and it made me happy. So that's what we did with that. And now that I see that this needs sand under it, I gotta pull these up too and figure this out. It's just, you get all these ideas and you start doing it, and then you realize, oh, this would look better, or this could finish it off more. I hate is such a strong word, but hate is very much the word. The gap of grass between the sand and the edge. What the heck? Why does there have to be grass under my stairs? Why? It's not right. Stairs are on sand all the time. Like, I literally just got back from the Bahamas. There was sand under stairs. So anyways, I'm just kind of like annoyed that they can't fix that. And then the top edges, when I put sand down, are also annoying. I just wish that you could let it be edge to edge. I don't understand why it couldn't be. Here's me moving O'Hare back because I fixed his little area, and we just got to make sure that his house, you know, goes back in the spot. And I imagined it just to make sure it didn't get rid of my fencing in the back and look weird, but it doesn't, so it's good. There's a little space to walk back there, so it's fine. And then we'll have to come back and fix that. I saw Bangle. I thought I'd better say hi to her. I hadn't seen her in a while. She's pretty cute, you guys. Her inside of her house. Look how foggy, how weird that looked just now again. I don't know what's going on with that. It's interesting. We have a campsite villager. So who do you guys think it is? I already know, but we're going to go in and take a little look-see. Yeah, it's Ike. I don't even say hi to him. He's not quite my cup of tea, although I would like him for a forest island or something, but definitely not this one. Hi, June. Let's have a chat. Yeah, if I remember correctly on this day, I think there was a little glitchiness I was noticing about when I was running for some reason, or when I was like trying to move fast. And it was only on the like days where it looked kind of overcast. So I don't know if all the like gloominess of it was kind of affecting like how the filming was going or whatever. But anyways, it's fine. It's only for like a split second on each one, but still. Had to go talk to Bee and say hello to Bee. And she's not staying. I move her out. Here's Sasha. I'm just showing you that I'm trying to show Stacy. I'm really trying to get I'm trying to get the shell recipes. Sasha's giving me a wooden chest. All the balloons that I've been popping have either had recipes for things that I would not need at all, or iron, bells, things like that don't matter to this challenge. So it's kind of frustrating, and I know she really wanted us to get all the recipes ourselves, you know, but we'll see. What I'm going to do is, because she kind of gave us permission to get stuff from Treasure Island in the end after we whined about it, which, sorry, Stacy, didn't mean to whine. I mean, your challenge is great, and 3 months is a long time. Probably plenty of time to get all these, so my goal is to get all these recipes myself by the end of this challenge. I'm going to allow myself to use all the items in the beginning, but if I get to the end, like by August, and I have not obtained the DIYs for the things that I used that are required for the challenge, then I'll remove the things I don't have, or at least I'm thinking I will. But we'll see. Either that, or I'll leave it the way it is. I'll show that I really, really tried, and then hopefully you'll just forgive me at the end. So anyways, I'm putting in my best effort. I'm hoping it works out. But I really do like the challenge, Stacy. It's great. And had I done it properly from the beginning, like, see, I started my resort before you released your challenge. So Crispy had told me one was coming, but you hadn't come out with the rules yet. And I was already kind of going on my island, so I had all this stuff already. So I'm kind of just trying to backtrack and adjust it to her challenge. So anyways, now we're going to move Bud, because we got to get Bud up top, and then we also have to get Shep. They're going to have the homes in the front there on the top level. So I decided to do Bud first. He's my best guy for like a surf shop. Him and Shep, honestly. So this is where we're going to place Bud today. And then once we have Bud placed, we're going to head back on over and we're going to grab Shep. I have to keep going to the next day, so I'm not making you go through all that, but we shall go to the next day. We will bring in Shep, put him on the other side. I'm also going to get, just kind of, we'll wander around and I'll let you see like kind of what the plot areas up here look like, and just how much space we have to fill up back there too. All right, so we got Bud in. Chef will be in tomorrow. Let's just kind of look. This is going to be where we have a tiki place on the left, tiki bar, and on the right is going to be my little volleyball area. And then back here is where I want to put the pool. At first I was going to put villagers here, which is why I have those green plots, but we're not going to do that. It's going to change. The villagers are going to go on the right and left sides of these because it actually extends all the way to the right and left. But right now I'm kind of looking at space, but see, this is where a villager will go over here. And these are going to be like the bungalows for rent. And I figured like they're also going to be the owners of the tiki bar and then the owner of the vault. See how that's off kilter? Drives me nuts. I have to fix this. Yeah, that drives me nuts. But anyways, I will fix it, by the way. But because see, it's 2 wide and then 3 wide. Oh well, it's okay. Anyways, we're gonna get the rest of the villagers in here pretty quick too, but I am gonna keep going and seeing if we can, you know, here's where I'm kind of trying to see like where are all my villagers and which ones need to be moved. These are who I have right now, but they're gonna probably change. I thought since Tangy and Flora are like my 2 real colorful ones, I'm gonna put those 2 together. And then like on the middle, so I got the 2 kind of beach bummy guys in the front. They're gonna be the surf shops and stuff. And then in the middle is going to be the 2 colorful gals, and they're gonna be the ones that have like the tiki bar and the volleyball court over there. And then in the back, we're going to have 2 villagers that are going to take care of the pool area. So I'm trying to collect shells because we're supposed to, you know, DIY the shell items. So if I just collect shells like every single day. Sasha gave me a lily crown. Again, nothing shell related. Nothing. I do shoot down a few balloons that have some shell items in them, but they're not, they're like a shell wall or an undersea wall or underwater flooring or, you know, things like that. The little pochette, that little purse. But look, Antonio gave me stacked wood wall. Like, how is that helping me? It's not. This is the success that I have with my DIYs. And that's what I was trying to say is like, one of my islands, it's my forever island. I went through the entire summer of 2024. So I started in January of 2024. And I've been fast forward time traveling like, I'll do 1 or 2 days in one day, right? So I'm doing them really fast. Like I'm clear down in November right now. So that tells you I started in January of 2024 on that island. But I started it just like, I don't know, when did I start it? January of this year. I started my forever island, and it is right now June and I'm in November on my island. So you know what I mean? It's like that's how fast I'm going. Well, anyway, I went day to day. I go in the morning and I go at night. I go to all my villagers' homes morning and night, and I collect both bottles each day. I also will shoot down any balloons that I see as I'm traveling around the island and doing all my chores and stuff. And I do not have very many shell recipes at all. I think I might have like 3 or 4. So, and that's including the underwater flooring and the wall and stuff like that. So anyway, it's just going to be a little bit of a challenge to try to see if I can get all these on my own. I'm trying to remember to do the balloons and stuff. I'm kind of so used to ignoring them because, you know, I use Treasure Islands or spicy stuff in, and I don't, go the trouble of doing it anymore unless I'm on my forever island. So Anyway, there's where we have all the villagers now. I'm going to put one more villager in the back, and I was just trying to decide like who's going to go back there. B is going to be replaced, and so we're going to put the other brown villager back by her, and that's going to be June. So okay, here's him doing a DIY. Plate armor. Really? That's not anything to do with summer, right? Yeah, not at all. I think I end up in this video on like day 13. Not one DIY out of any of the bottles or any of my villagers. So the only thing I got was a couple in the balloons, and like I said, they were just the ones that go interior inside the house. So oy vey. It's gonna be a challenge. So I'm really gonna try though. I'm trying to be legit, too legit to quit. So we'll see what we can do. I love picking weeds, by the way. Every time I see weeds, I'm like, yes, must pick. It's just relaxing. I wish, like, what I should do is just make a whole island, and all it is weeds. And I just pick weeds. And I'll do like one section and then go away, and then let it pick again, you know, like let it spread. And then go pick them again. You know what I mean? Like just crazy town. I love it. I do try to talk to my villagers daily, most of them, but I don't think I'm very good at it. Sometimes with these challenge islands or whatever, I'm just don't really keep up on it as well as I should. Alright, we are collecting some shells. What's the good word? I think Shep. Shep really likes Cocoa Key. He always says, nothing is as good as Cocoa Key, or this place is, you know, he always has something good to say about Cocoa Key. There's Bud. Shredded. Well, I'm training all day because I'm doing all the work, but you see, I'm doing all the work. Sasha was not working on anything, but looks like Sasha is playing his little game over there, so that's kind of cute. Message in a bottle. What is it? Oh, wild log bench. As much as I love the wild log bench, I don't need it right now. I need beachy things. And then I found these two ladies back here. What is happening, girls? Sylvana just magically showed up on this island. I'm not going to say how that happened. All I'm going to say is someone out there, the name might have been Bama Girl, showed me that she's wearing a kiwi dress and that she could in fact be tropical. So there she is. She is here. Her house is very springy. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do something about that. But so is Lily's. Hers is very springy. All these guys have really summery houses, but the rest of them do not. Yeah, so I can't have an island without a squirrel, you guys. Like that, I'm JoJo, and we are Floofy Tails here. How could I have an island without squirrels? But Nintendo, I want to know, why do we not have a tropical squirrel? Why? Like a real tropical squirrel. We have a tropical on like so many of them, but no squirrels. I need a tropical squirrel. Anyway, we need more squirrels. I'm going to plead that we get a couple more really cute squirrels. Preferably not with weird helmets or outfits on that drive me nuts. Okay, this is where I decided I needed to adjust this because it was driving me bonkers. Because it's not 2 by 2 or whatever, too wide like the other one. So yeah, this is where I come in and decide to fix it. I told you it was coming, so you were warned. But I'm just trying to show you so you're not like, how did that happen? Messes up this whole entire area right here. And I realize that is probably why I did what I did. And then I could have gone back and adjusted both of these hills to match. But then I was like, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. So I just kept it the way it was. So yeah. My tendencies for OCD do give up eventually. And then I'm like, no, I'm tired. I've had enough of it. So I'm just leaving it the way it is. There's going to be about 2,000 times where I put these bamboo partitions back. And here is where I decided to make a little oasis. What I do love about the bamboo partitions is that they are going to help cover that green grass back there. And it'll make it look like there's just water flowing underneath this bungalow area. So I'm kind of trying to make it like they're all kind of above the water sort of situation. But it's not going to be that way all the way around it. But I thought if I did it this way, it looked like some of it was just flowing under, you know. And I thought that was pretty. And I love those ones where you can rent the little bungalows that are like literally over the ocean and it has glass bottoms on it. It's on my bucket list of something to do before I die, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to because it's expensive. Really expensive, but looks gorgeous. So anyway, this seems really difficult, but it's really not. You just have to look at where the corner should go and then you just plop it in there. But it is kind of a big water pathing because you need the 9, but then you also need the 4 extra, so it's like 13. But it's okay. It's worth it. It's really pretty. I can't remember who made this, but it's in my code one. I wasn't going to use it, but then I thought, you know what? That darker band of sand makes it look like how the sand looks when water rushes up on it and it makes it darker, you know? And I didn't think about that. So anyway, I did end up liking it and keeping it. But yeah, they really thought of everything on this to make it look realistic. And they did a great job. So kudos to whoever did this little thing. It's great. Again, it's in my design video that should be linked on here too. Because I'm just going to link my design videos from now on anything that has them. That way you guys can just go watch it or fast forward to what you're looking for or whatever and just grab it. But yeah, I do like this. I think it's nice. Sometimes adjustments need to be made, so I put down the bamboo stuff, and then I realize, you know, that there's a little bit of a gap, so then I need to kind of fix it and plant a few trees over here and stuff. That gap right there is what I'm talking about. So this is where I was like, okay, well, what we can do is kind of extend the water coming over a little bit more to the left instead. And then that will allow me to put trees in where I'm standing and block the gap. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're going to knock out some of this water, bump it back a smidge, and then you know, just kind of make it work that way. So once you get used to using a path, it's actually not too bad, but you do need to practice with it quite a bit. This one was the first time I'd used this one though, and also the first time I'd used one that had like the little corners that you have to put in, but it did remind me of my city core streets and stuff, so I think if you get that down, you do pretty good. It's not too bad. This is where I want my tree. yeah, I couldn't kick it because if I kicked, I was going to kick my water and I didn't want to ruin it. So that's what was going on there. Yeah, I'm just showing you some of the struggles, but we're going to get to the point where we make the pool up top, and that's going to be the end of this build. And so we're going to create the luxury pool area that goes to the back of this bungalow gathering. And then the next video, we're going to show the tiki bar and the little volleyball court. And then the video after that, we're going to go ahead and do Bud and Shep's area. And so we'll show you those. And then once we get those in, see how those trees just camouflage? It's really nice. It works really well. You can still see it, but it's okay. I'm happy that it is doing what it's doing. There's another present. What do I get out of this one? Yeah. Nuggets. Nothing to do with shells. Mind you, nuggets are great, but when you really need shells. Okay, I also wanted to show you on this. Like, I put the water around it and I was like, no, that's not what water looks like if it laps up. It looks like that. So I had to fix this whole thing and kind of widen it out a little bit. But I wanted it to kind of look like there was a little bit of a raised up area around this coconut tree, and it was just kind of sticking out above the water. So I thought that was cute how it turned out. But I'm just kind of showing you that yes, you do have to make adjustments, and you just kind of make it work, and then everything looks really cool. So, but I think that one turned out pretty good. What kind of resorts or islands or themes are you guys working on? I need ideas because I don't know. I just really want to do something different. So if you guys can think of something fun, something you'd like to see, let me know. Or maybe just throw some ideas out there and I'll do what I can. Someone also suggested deal or no deal on like doing it on my Floof Games island. I saw the suggestion. However, I don't know how I would like create it, like make it work. I don't know. They don't really have suitcases that you can like pick. So I'm just kind of wondering like how that's going to work. So anyway, asking for a friend. If you guys know of anything that could teach me that, that would be awesome. But I love how this code, this is a pool code, and I love how this code has this little wall area on the side. It really gives it that dimension that you need, so you can kind of see that like that's the edge over there as you're looking in from the front, you know? It's kind of cool, right? I mean, it's amazing that people think about this. And then even the stairs, like look at this. It looks like it's going down and the wall's against it and it matches up. It's like amazing. And then I'm trying to figure out which stairs. I think it's these, but I picked the wrong ones or something. Yeah, I think it's these and then it's not. Oh, also I was trying to see if they had any that went down further, and then those aren't the ones that go with that either. They're all kind of tapered different. I think it's that one, yes. Yeah, there you go. So you just have to like find the right ones, and then they work really well together. So then that makes it look like there's actual stairs, you know? It's really cool. And then I also have stairs for the other side to go the other direction, so you could have stairs going on both sides. Which, for a bigger pool, I guess that's a thing. But in the Animal Crossing, this is a big pool. Okay, we're just calling it a big pool. And I'm just trying to see if we're even. That's what I'm doing. Because I really like them to be even. So if I can get it evened up, it really makes me happy. It's somewhat even on here, but the right side goes over just a little bit further. So yeah, definitely not totally even. But yeah, we're gonna finish up this pool. I really like how the pool turned out, by the way. I have a pattern to put around it that's like got some white tile, and then I've got some that has a tile design. The pool has some of these variances that you can put in. I'm going to show you some that I'm not going to use, but I thought about it, and that was to put these little kind of like stools inside the pool, like that, and you put like 3 in a row or something, and it makes it look like it's a little swim up bar or something. So I thought that was kind of cute, but I end up not using it because I don't really have anywhere to put a swim up bar over here, and I need space, so we're just going to solidify it. Yeah, so it's just a straight up pool, obviously. And then I will put a few things in the pool and around the pool, and we're going to tile it, and also tile all the way around by the villagers. And I decided to go with the pool tile all over the place because here's me trying to use this see on the grass there where I have that other tile that's a little lighter in color. Well, it doesn't line up to the edge as much and doesn't cover as much, and this one covers way better. So I kind of just go around in a circle, try to make it even around the pool. I have another designed tile that I'm going to use on the inside edge, kind of like what you would see around a real pool, you know? And then we'll call it a day on this. So, and then we'll put some furniture by the pool and have a place to lay down and catch some sun. And it's going to be really cute. Yeah, but I will not make you continue watching all of this. We're going to go ahead and, we'll watch a little bit more, just so you can kind of see how it all comes together, because I do, but we won't watch all of it because I got to do it over by the villager houses and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a little different. And you see from front to back, it's also not even. There's a little bit of extra space back there. Yeah, this is the part. This is the tile that I picked to go around the pool. I thought it was really pretty. I really like it. Alright, so that's the last of it. So we'll go ahead and take a look and see how the tile came together. But I really like the pool. Isn't it kind of cute? Looks pretty. And then I realize I've got to continue it off over this direction. So definitely going to do that. And I will continue it all the way over to these 2 villagers because I really do think it needs to kind of tie it together. And I also like the darker white full coverage tile. It hangs over more. Do you see how it covers more of the grass and stuff? So that's why I like it a little better. You can't even see some of the edging on it after I'm done. Well, obviously on the front you can, but like around the other edges on the sides and stuff, some of it's almost completely covered. Like that. See how it goes all the way to the right edge? Like, I love that. And I don't understand why we can't put pathing underneath the house like we can in HHP. Like, what on earth are you guys thinking? Alright, and then I was not sure if this was all going to be tiled, but I went ahead and put it down, and we do utilize that later on, so. Alright, and then here I decided to go ahead and put a tree in. Just wanted to have one here for the villager. Make it look a little more tropical over here. We'll put some other stuff in there too. Part of the challenge is to use the shell items in front of the villagers' houses or around the houses. So I will be using all shell items around the villager homes. I'll still use some around Bud and Shep and O'Hare's homes, but since they are more shop owners, I need to incorporate the shop stuff too. But we'll add some shells and stuff, just because that's part of the requirement of this. And then you know that this is not what's going to happen because it's too even. So I've got to make that coconut tree off kilter. I hate that they're just straight in a row, you know. But you kind of have to follow like where the squares are, as to where the little chunks are. So anyways, you're going to see me move my coconut tree over one because I need it not to be right there. Oh, I have some pears, thank goodness, because I need to move these trees. So that's good news. All right, up with the coconut tree, move it over. I also need to plug the hole or it'll go automatically to the hole first, especially if you have a shovel in your hand. So I've learned that the hard way. And then let's cover up this back with the tile again. Where are you? There you go. All right. Can't really do much about what's around the tree on this one because tile just would go up to the tree like that, honestly, if that's what you were wanting to do. So that's how it's going to be on this part. But definitely water would not be. So I'm glad I fixed that one. These will be the way they are because the tile is what's making them do that. So yeah, I think the pool turned out great. We're going to the next day, just get all the villagers moved in and stuff. And then now let's decorate around the pool because I think we can do like some places to sit. We're gonna customize some things. So I customized these towels to match the pool, which I really am fond of. I love it when people do this in meadows, and I love when people do this in pools because it looks like I'm just floating, you know. It's so cute. I will add some floaties in here, but I forgot about it during the build. So hopefully when I come back and do some like extra fixing up, you know, I can fix it and make it look cuter. I realized I need to customize the poolside bed. So I'm just going in here. I'm going to pick those. And I want to pick like one of the patterns that I have. This one's really cute. So we're going to use this Aloha print. Yeah. I think it looks really nice. It doesn't really match that tile, but kind of. Like, you know, pieces and parts. But not entirely. But we are almost getting done with this build. We're going to throw down our little lounge chairs. We're going to put down some things you would find at the pool side. And then we're going to just take a quick little run through the tour, the area. And then we'll be peace out for the day today. And we'll come back when we're doing the other two parts. So those are fun and should be hopefully a good part of my resort because Stacy's rule is that some of these buildings or you know, projects have to be in it. So this also drives me nuts because nothing's even over here. I have 4 squares between these two. I have 3 squares between the next one. So I realize this and I do end up fixing it. But it takes me a hot minute to get it arranged the appropriate way. Let's see, that's 3 squares away from the tree. And even though I struggle with this quite a few times, it's still not right. So, but that's because this island knows no evenness. Animal Crossing islands know no evenness. They don't allow it. So anyways, now we've got them pretty evened out. I'm going to put these over just a little bit more. I'm going to drop some of these bamboo stools in between. That way it looks like there's little bedside tables. And then we're going to put like a little, like a drink or, I don't know, just something cute on there to kind of make it look like there's inhabitants, like there's people, you know what I mean? So I think it looks cute. Okay, and here I'm realizing, you know, I gotta shift things again. Yeah. It's so much nicer if you can just put all your furniture down right away and it goes right where you want it. But I find that's never the case. It's not that smooth. It's usually me monkeying around with it for 10-15 minutes and making sure that they fit where they are supposed to and all that kind of stuff. Oops, wrong thing. And a kickback. Great. My mind is like, please, please don't do this. I was going to stab it. I was going to stab the screen by the time I was done with this one because believe me, if you knew how much I cut out, you would be a little bit like, okay, Joe, you made it and you're sane, so that's great. All right, move that over. By the way, I think this is 2 p.m. music and I hate it. And it doesn't occur to me until like the end, kind of. But I do get out of it. But it does drive me nuts. All right. I think that all looks really cute. We're going to put some of these extra things on here. As you can see, I'm gathering things for the next build too. So we'll put a little coconut juice here and there. Let's put a different kind of drink too, because I think that'd look cute. Maybe a magazine. What do we have? Yeah, let's put a magazine down. And then this one could be, what could this one be? Let's see. Let's think about it. Maybe a book. Yeah, a book. That works. Okay. This is definitely stuff I would do if I were on the island. Matter of fact, I did. A little colorful drink. Cute. All right, I do like it. I'm going to put one by the pool too because literally when my husband and I went to Hawaii once, we ordered drinks and went over and we had them sitting on the edge of the pool. So it was reminiscent of that for sure. But yeah, I feel like this looks pretty good. I could add a few more things around the pool, like maybe some planters up front and stuff, and I probably will do that, but I just didn't think of it at the time. So we'll come back to this. We'll come back maybe on the next episode when I do my tiki bar and volleyball court, or when I do the surf shops, I'll maybe come and add those. But this is how it turned out. We got a little place to lay down in the water and float around, or you can head on over to your little lounge chair and just recline on back, drink your cocktail, have a little magazine reading time. So yeah, I think it turned out cute. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, if you could give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Love all you floofs.